Hey guys, I'm Larissa Nicole. Welcome to I Said What I Said podcast, episode 2. Let's get into it.
Oh, I said what? I said no shame, no regret. All this fire you can't forget. Own it loud, say it proud. I said what I said, no backing down. Oh, I said what I said.
So before we dive too deep into today's topic, I have got to recap the live podcast launch. This is episode 2. So that means that we have launched at this point, and it happened last weekend. And guys, I'm still taking it in. It was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful celebration. It was so much love, so much support from all of you. And I just want to take this moment to highlight. I have to shout out the Sage Lounge Huntsville because that's where the event space was, and it's such an aesthetically beautiful space. Guys, you've got to check it out if you haven't been there. It's a cute spot, and it was really perfect for a very intimate live podcast launch. I've got to shout out my brand manager, Demetria, and her company business, Anovium, and everything that she does for me. Magician Visuals, my photographer, guys, everybody, Black Pine Boutique, literally my head to toe look was Black Pine Boutique, and she did her big one. Literally, I'm gonna tell y'all the story. Don't worry, we're gonna get to it. My brother, my baby, there was just so much love in the room for everyone, my friends that came to support all of you, all of the calls, the text messages, the subscribers. Y'all, I have been feeling the love, and it's just, I'm full. I'm so full. So I had to just take a minute to just shout out all of you, everyone that has subscribed. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your watching, sharing with your friends and family. I'm so excited because this is literally just the beginning of this journey that we're going on together. And before I forget, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that. We're doing a giveaway for a 32-inch flat screen TV right here before Christmas. And you want to hit that subscription because that's how you get entered into the giveaway. And so if you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe. Take a moment, do that right now so you get into the giveaway, because who doesn't just want a flat screen TV just because you got one, right? And so I'm super excited. While we were at the live launch, it was really organically flowing, the conversation, the dialogue, and that was something that just brought me so much joy. And in the discussions, there was just topics that were shared. And so some of the topics that we're going to be discussing and diving deeper into over the next few weeks that I'm really excited to get into, releasing titles giving and extending grace. I think we're in such a season right now where we all have the opportunity to give more grace. What alignment looks like. There's so much coming, friendships and family ships, right? And how to navigate those. And so I'm super excited. If there is a specific topic that you had that you want to hear a perspective on, let me know in the comments, because I really would love to just be able to hear what direction you're feeling led or pulled, or really what you want to hear from me. And so please share that in the comments if there's something as you listen that just kind of triggers something else that you have got a question about. And especially if it's in the vein of, lifestyle, travel, wellness, and spiritual alignment, because that's exactly what we're going to address here. And so that just really leads me right into episode 2. Okay, so let's just get into it. Episode 2. Episode 2 is all about facing the woman in the mirror and confrontation with truth. Because as I think about this journey on And what led me really to this space of reinvention, it really started with me facing the truth. It started with me facing myself in the mirror. And so today we're talking about the mirror moments, the ones that demand honesty, not perfection. The ones that demand honesty, not perfection. Truth has a way of showing up even when we're not ready. And I believe that the hardest part is really deciding to face it. Like it really is. It's so much easier to deny the truth and act like it don't exist sometimes than just facing it. And so I really want to start with why denial feels so safe and how pretending keeps us comfortable. I heard someone say that something on the inside of all of us is intrigued by the unknown. And some are led to believe that not facing something makes it not real. So I've got to know your thoughts on that. Let me know. Do you agree? Do you agree that not facing something makes it not real? Because my personal and lived opinion at this point is no. You can ask the creditors, the debt collectors, the judges, all the therapists, and the counselors. Like, not facing something is really only delaying the reality of the truth, which could make that situation worse off in the end. And so I believe it really boils down to the illusion of control. Pretending to not see something gives us this false sense of peace. And I really just want to like expose it because like ignoring for the sake of peace, not speaking up for the sake of peace, that's pretending and it's not seeing, and it's really denial. And there's so much about me that y'all will learn as we continue to uh, navigate this journey over the course of the weeks and months ahead about my life and my story. But as I think about just a particular season in my life where I had to really be honest, and there's a few times where, like, sometimes where I really just didn't know and it took me a while to see something. And then other times where I just didn't really want to see it, you know? And I think when I think about one time in particular that I felt like there was this denial or there was this like illusion or me thinking that it was safer to deny than to face something. I can remember I was in a relationship. This was like post college. I had graduated college, but still not fully into my adult life yet. So, still figuring a lot of things out. Right after I graduated, but before I transitioned to Houston, I was in a relationship. And before I realized it, like we were pretty deep. And when you feel like you're so deep into something and then you start seeing things, it's like, oh, now I want to act like, and this was me, now I want to act like I don't see it because I'm so deep already. And I remember like signs and signals and flags, red flags being there that I didn't want to see and pretending. And one in particular, it like just this illusion. Before the red flag surfaced, I made a bad decision and I connected myself to this man financially under a title, under a car. And I really just want to speak out to any young women that are listening, old women that are listening, like just don't. You don't have to do that. Okay. You don't have to do that. I wish I had known better at that time than to put my name and my credit on the line for somebody else. You don't have to do that. So I just want to put that out there. Like learn from me, don't do it. Value yourself, value your financial health more in 2025 and beyond. Because it was a silly decision. And if I had really faced the truth and faced the facts, I wouldn't have been on that path. It wouldn't have led me down that path. And denying it certainly did not make it not real, because the truth of it was he got the car. My name was on the car because I helped him get the car with my credit. And yeah, he decided he wasn't going to make the payments. And ignoring the payments doesn't mean they're not due, right? Because you choose not to pay the payments doesn't mean that the payments aren't coming, right? And it taught me a lesson, because even though I didn't drive the car, even though it wasn't my car, it was his car, my name was on it. And denying that I had some responsibility to that was only allowing it to linger over me way longer than it should have. And I had to have that mirror moment with myself. I had to look myself in the mirror and accept the fact that I had made a poor decision. Like Larissa, you should have never, right? But since you did, and this is why the mirror moment is about honesty and not perfection. Because the truth is, Larissa, you should have never, right? But the perfection, the area where I can extend myself grace is I don't have to be perfect. I did it. We can get out of this. And I had to choose then to settle it, pay it off, and get it off of my credit. It wasn't something that he was going to do as a grown-ass man, right? I was going to make that choice and be accountable to myself in that moment. And so I settled it and I paid it off. And the truth is, denial will lead you to a decision. It's going to lead you to a decision. You can continue to let it hang over your head, wondering or pretending, not facing it. And that was just a particular bad situation with a particular financial situation. But like, I made the decision to clear my name of the debt to move forward with a clean slate financially, right? And so you can change the narrative. It's not about being perfect. It's about being honest with yourself. That's the mirror moment. It's about being honest with yourself. Ignoring the truth only leads to depletion, where facing the truth leads you to your destiny. I'm convinced that I never would be able to access financial abundance if I just kept denying the fact that I had this lingering on my credit, right? Like, I'm convinced that ignorance and ignoring the truth is going to deplete you. But when you actually face it, like, it opens doors. There's opportunities at that point that lead you to your destiny. And that day, the mirror didn't just reflect my mistake, it reflected my maturity. And that's what facing the truth is supposed to do. It's supposed to grow you. That's really what it's about. That's the honest piece. That's where you learn the lesson and you move forward. And anyone that's holding perfection over you, or even you holding perfection over you, because a lot of times, let me just talk to it for a minute, because this is something that me personally, like, it's taken me years to get to, because it took me years of doing. So it took me years of undoing perfectionism. And I really just want to like talk to you right now in this moment, because perfectionism is a lot self-inflicted. It's what we feel like we need to do, right? To make it better, to do more, to add on top of. And you really have to address your mistakes, and looking yourself in the mirror, it gives you the opportunity then to address your mistakes, give yourself grace, and move forward. And when you are able to give yourself grace, that's when you can release yourself from it always having to be perfect. And you can release yourself from anyone that makes you feel like it always has to be perfect, right? Like, God didn't create us to be perfect. He is perfect. He's the one that perfects it, right? Like, that's not our role. Our role is to show up and do what he said do, and let him do the perfecting, right? So just release yourself from feeling like every day of life you can't make any mistakes. Like, you're gonna make mistakes. We are going to fall down, and it's okay if we fall down every day. One of my mentors said this, and it has just stuck with me in life. It really was one of those pivotal moments that I believe really just broke the perfection off of me. He was like, Larissa, you can fail every day, just fail differently. Like, learn from the failure every day. If you're failing every day, you're learning every day, right? So make the mistake, learn the lesson, and then the next day you've got a clean slate to make another mistake, right? And let yourself be imperfect and love yourself right there. So I just want to say that. That was just a little tangent off, but I just felt the need to do that. Denial is really just comfort dressed in fear. It whispers that ignorance is safety, but truth always collects what's owed. And we can go back to that car whole situation, right? Like the bill was still going to be due because that was the truth of the matter. It was never paid, right? I signed my name on the line. He signed his name on the line. The bill was going to be due. And so denying it, it's really just comfort dressed in fear, and it's ignorant. So just face the truth and be mature about it. Face yourself and have that mirror moment. And so here's what I want to ask you. Does not facing the truth make it not real, or does it just delay the healing it's trying to bring? Does it make it not real? Because we've already established no, it doesn't make it not real. And so does it just delay the healing, right? Like when I think about, and this is a story that comes to my mind. Growing up, I can remember my parents always telling me like that I needed to take the Band-Aid. If I cut myself or I got a wound, I fell down. You know, as a child, you're like, I want a Band-Aid, I want a Band-Aid. Kids get so excited about Band-Aids. But really, like, it's holding the moisture on there and not allowing the wound to get air. So my parents would always say, like, you need to take the Band-Aid off and let it get air. And when you think about, like, your mistakes and you think about a cut or a wound, right? Like, it's easy to want to deny it and it's easy to want to hide it. But if we just like let it air out, if we really just opened it up and allowed these wounds or allowed these mistakes the space and the capacity to grow and for us to develop and bloom from them, right? Like that would bring healing faster. And so the same way that literal wounds need light, they need air, like we have to give ourselves that space. We have to give ourselves that space. And I believe that's what leads to our true healing. And so denying, it just delays our healing. It really just delays our healing. And ignoring the truth, it depletes our energy. I can't tell you how many times or how exhaustive it is to put up fronts. Like it's so draining. It's so draining to pretend. It's so draining to put so much pressure on yourself to have everything right all the time, to have to know all of the answers. Like when you can have those mirror moments and say, I made a mistake, when you can have those conversations with respectful and responsible adults, right? Like respectful and responsible adults, they understand that life is about making mistakes. So anyone that's not giving you the space to make mistakes, you need to reevaluate that relationship, right? And maybe insert a boundary there, because respectable adults, they will give you the space to make mistakes because they themselves know that they make mistakes every day, right? Whether or not they want to accept it. And so ignoring the truth, it's just exhaustive, and putting up those fronts, like it is so tiring. You'll hear so much more about how that was just a general theme in my previous marriage. I share so many more details about it in my book, but I really want to help free someone in that space, that you don't have to pretend. Like, have the hard conversation with yourself. And I promise I'm trying to move on, because I feel like I'm still saying it. But I feel like what works for me, and this is how I really get to the space, is I have to name it. I have to identify what it is. You really can't heal from anything that you refuse to actually address, right? And that's where the courage comes in, because we don't want to see the error and the fault in ourselves, right? But it's really such a blessing, like when you have someone in your life, especially someone trusted or close, that can help identify areas. Like, don't be so quick to take offense, right? Like, that's such a privilege to have the safety for someone to share an area of growth or improvement. But we have to have those conversations with ourselves. We have to be able to name it. Okay, Larissa, what was it in you that felt like you had to or needed to sign your name? I had to have that conversation with myself. Did you feel like he was going to stop loving you if you told him that you weren't giving over your credit for love? Right? Because that's the mirror moment. Those are the hard questions that you have to name it. You can't heal from something that you refuse to name. And then you have to be willing to face it. Like, okay, maybe I did feel like I wasn't valuable enough for love. And that, or maybe there was a fear of me losing him or him rejecting me if I said, no, I'm not doing that, right? When glory to God, I am not who I was. Hallelujah. But you have to face it, right? Because it may hurt, but it is going to bring alignment and it is going to bring peace. And that moment hurt me. It did. I had to recover for my credit, right? Like, I had to not only bail him out of that, because that wasn't my vehicle. I never drove it, right? I bailed him out for the sake of me and poor decisions that I made. But then I had to recover my own credit from that, right? And so when facing it, it may hurt, but it does bring alignment and it does bring peace. And I learned from that lesson, right? Like, we're not doing that again. And so thank God for clarity, okay? Because I believe the mirror is not gonna lie. It's just gonna wait on you. That's really the truth, right? The mirror is not gonna lie. We can't run from it. We've already said the debt collectors, the judges, they're still coming. So you may as well just address it and face it. Another area, I'm going to pivot a little bit, because something that's really important to me and that I want to make sure that I create space for on the podcast is health and wellness. And spiritual wellness is important to me. Health and wellness is very important to me. And I believe that the same way that we detox our bodies is how we have to detox our truth. Avoidance, it builds toxins. Spiritually, it builds toxins. Emotionally, even physically, right? Like, another way that we often ignore and we put on masks and we turn a blind eye is in our physical health. And I'm not going to go through this episode about us looking ourselves in the mirror and facing the truth and confronting the truth and not address our physical health. It can be really dangerous, and we really have to have conversations with ourselves, with our loved ones. And I really just want to make a plug to a close family member of mine, because I've had the opportunity to she's been vulnerable with me and shared this and given me permission to share her story. But as I think about like turning a blind eye on physical health, there's a number of different stories that I could tell, but this one in particular, it's just more recent and it's more personal to me. But I can think about like what led to her mirror moment and just how pivotal it was. And recently she broke her leg. And the break in her leg, it exposed some deeper health concerns and health issues. But for months, she shared with me that her body was trying to communicate with her for months. She even started trying to do different things. But even going those routes, she knew something on the inside of her was still telling her that there was more, right? These are the hard truths. These are the mirror moments. And when our body is trying to communicate to us, we have the responsibility to listen to that. And I do believe that leaning in there, yes, it can be scary, but leaning in there will lead us to truth. It's going to lead us to peace. It's going to lead us to alignment. And in doing so, that's where you're able to get closer to the healing, right? Acting like it doesn't exist is not going to make it go away. It's not, especially concerning our physical health. And I really want to address that. And so the truth is, she knew that her body, there was different things going on in her body, and fear, it can very easily be a driving force for us to keep pretending that we're okay and keep saying that it's all right when we know that something deeper is their bodies is trying to communicate something deeper. And so I just want to say to anyone else out there that's listening that knows that their body is communicating something on the inside, but fear has been leading you to pretend like you're okay, or hide it from your loved ones, or not go get the test, or not address it. Like, just insert facts right there, insert truth right there. Like, you can make a decision to do something different. And I really want to encourage you to face it and to have those conversations with yourself for your own physical health. Like, your loved ones will thank you for it. And so just lean in there. And in leaning in, I believe that that's where we'll be able to accept and address, align, and find peace quicker and easier. God's word tells us in John 8:32, the truth shall set you free. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to challenge you with a mirror moment, a reflection moment for this next week. I want you to ask yourself, what truth have I been avoiding, and what would facing it actually free me from? What truth have I been avoiding, and what would facing it actually free me from? And then write it down. Don't run from it. Name it, and then face it, because you deserve peace more than you deserve to be right. It's okay to make mistakes. You don't have to be perfect. The truth might sting, but it also sets us free. Ignoring the truth leads to depletion, but facing it, it leads you closer to your destiny. Every mirror moment is an invitation to rise higher, freer, and more aligned. The woman in the mirror isn't your enemy. She is your next level. And so thank you so much for watching and listening all over the world. I am Larissa Nicole. I create spaces where women can rediscover their peace within themselves and the world around them. I do that through mindful travel, restorative health and wellness, and spiritual alignment. Don't forget to click the subscribe to be entered into the giveaway, giving away a 32-inch TV, and the winner will be announced on episode 3. Until next time, love you guys.
Oh, say it proud. I said